Okay, good evening everybody. So today this session will be for the digital implementation of PI regulator. So in induction motor control, specifically in vector control, this direct axis loop having one PI regulator and your quadrature axis also having two PI regulators. So first we should understand how to implement it in microcontroller. So this session is for that. Already I have shown how to do that. So now it will be presented by Anish using ADC and PWM. So here uh, one potentiometer will be used to generate the reference signal, and PWM will be generated, that will be taken in one ADC channel as feedback, and from there error will be generated, and as per the classical concept of PI regulator, that error signal will be compensated, and it will produce the excitation. So here the excitation will be basically in terms of duty cycle. Resolution will be the duty cycle of the uh, timer. Okay, PWM timer. So this is the thing. So now I will request Anish to start.
So basically what we'll be doing is the digital implementation of the PI regulator. As sir said, it is nothing but we'll be using ADC conversion and pulse width modulation. So at the beginning, I'll explain you what is PI regulator with the help of a block diagram. Then I'll explain ADC conversion and pulse width modulation. And then I'll move into the code. The code is nothing but just the implementation of the block diagram and the units of ADC conversion and pulse width modulation. Okay. Okay. So now we have come to the block diagram. As you all can see, in the block diagram, we have got the reference voltage input, and here we have got the output. Okay. Now this is a comparator. This cross sign you see, this is a comparator. We'll be using the comparator to calculate the error. You see the feedback from the output comes to the comparator. See the feedback from the output comes to the comparator, and here we get the error. All right. Now we divide the error into two parts. First we multiply it with Kp, which is the proportional, the constant of proportionality. The Pi stands for proportional and integral. So Kp and Ki are just constants. Kp is the constant for proportional and Ki is the constant for integral. Okay. So now we do Kp into error, and here we have got Ki into the error. Ki times the error, but the only difference from Kp here is that we are adding the error for each cycle of the block diagram. For every cycle, the error here is getting added up and then it is getting multiplied by Ki. Okay. So here we have got Ki, the sum of errors. Okay. Ki, sum of errors. Follow the mouse pointer, you will see. And then this is nothing but this is the sum of Kp into error plus Ki into sum of errors as the output. Okay. And again this is going as the feedback. We are again, if we change the reference voltage, we'll get some error, and we will use that error again to reach to the reference voltage. Basically our aim is to make the output equal to the reference voltage, I mean as close as to the reference voltage with the help of PI regulation. Okay. So let's does anyone have any doubt with the block diagram? Because the code is just the explanation and just the functioning of the block diagram. It is nothing different. So if you have got any doubts with the block diagram, please say it now. Okay, so I'll move forward. Okay, so this is the circuit diagram. Okay, so in the circuit diagram, we have got a potentiometer here. This is the potentiometer, and from the potentiometer we are giving the input in the channel of analog read 0. The input from the potentiometer to this A0 pin, this is our reference voltage. All right, this reference voltage, this is the one which is coming from here. This 50% mark you see from here, from the potentiometer, it is coming to the analog A0 pin. Okay. Now this OC1A9, this pin, this is the output. All right, this is the output pin, and then from the output we are giving the feedback to ADC1 pin. Okay, A1 pin, we here we are getting the feedback. The comparator work, the subtraction to find the error, that we do inside the code, but to calculate the feedback and to calculate the reference voltage, we are using the A0 and the A1 pin of the Arduino. And this is the power source. We have used here a 5-volt power source. In general, if you give no reference volt to the Arduino, the internal reference voltage is 5 volt. But since the circuit has been designed in Proteus, so I have been able to show that this voltage is 5 volt. Okay. So this is as simple as that. This is just the ground pin because the potentiometer needs the ground reference. Okay. So now I'll be moving on to the processes that are involved. Okay. So first of all, we have ADC conversion. ADC conversion, what it does, it converts the value of a voltage between 0 and 5 volt in the range of 0 to 1023. Which means that if 5 volt is 1023 and 0 volt is 0, then you can say that 3 volt is around 612 or 614 or something. All right, it is nothing else. Coming to pulse width modulation. Pulse width modulation, we have used the fast PWM mode of 8-bit. Like we can use 10-bit, 16-bit, different bits. Here in this program, I have used the 8-bit fast PWM. What does the 8-bit fast PWM does? The 8-bit fast PWM in one cycle, like in one time period, it can count from 0 to 255, and as soon as it counts from 0 to 255, it again sets the counter to 0, and then it again counts from 0 to 255. All right. Since we have done the coding, at the microcontroller level, so instead of using the inbuilt function, we have used the registers. These are the registers of Atmega 328P microcontroller, which is the controller for Arduino. So for ADC conversion, we have used these 3 registers: ADC SRA, SREG, ADMUX. I'll be explaining them briefly while I explain the code. And for pulse width modulation, we have used these 5 registers: SREG, TCNT1 timer counter, TCC R1A, TCC R1B, and TIMSK1 timer counter 1 interrupt mask register. All right. So now I'll explain you what is ADC conversion and what is pulse width modulation. Okay. So what is ADC conversion? So ADC conversion, suppose the internal reference voltage of the Arduino is 5 volt, and internally the ADC converter of the Arduino on the Atmega 328P, it is of 10 bit. All right, it is of 10 bit. So for ADC conversion, the microcontroller can give a value, can divide the voltage from to a values of 2 to the power 10. All right, it is 10 bit. So 10 bit is equivalent to 2 to the power 10, which is 1024 values. Okay, 1024 values. So the count goes from, so the range of the count goes from 0 to 1023. All right. Suppose the reference voltage is 5 volt. Then 5 volt is equivalent to 1023, and 0 volt is equivalent to 0, and 2 volt is equivalent to 409. This is nothing. This is simple mathematics. This is 2 by 5 multiplied by 1023, and here you will get the value 409. If you check in your calculator, it will be approximately 409. All right. So as I've told you before that we are using the fast PWM mode. So fast PWM mode, we are using the 8-bit value. All right. But the ADC is of 10-bit, right? The ADC is of 10-bit. So if we want the fast PWM mode to work, we need to scale the values down from 1024 to a range of 0 to 255. Because if we give a value to the PWM more than 255, then it won't be able to give proper output. Because then all the values will be greater than 255. So it will give a constant output of 255. Therefore, we need to scale the values down from 1023 to 255. Okay. So what is scaling down? Suppose you all have scored 90 marks out of 100 in an exam, and the teacher has told you to scale down your marks to out of 30. So how do you do your calculation? Like if you get 90 out of 100, then how much have you got out of 30? What you do 90 divided by 100 into 30, which is 27. So out of 30, you get 27. Similarly, the reference voltage that we are giving from the potentiometer, instead of taking out what we have got out of 1023, suppose the reference voltage here from the potentiometer, suppose we give here as 2 volt. So 2 volt. So out of 1023, we get 409, but we need to scale it down to 255. So simply we are going to do 2 by 5 into 255, or we can do the value 409 out of 1023 into 255. Okay, this is the scaling down. As simple as this. This is 409 out of 1023 into 255. This is the same thing we have done. We do not, the reference voltage keeps changing because I'll be using the potentiometer and changing from point to point. So I've kept it X here. So it is X by 1023 into 255. Okay. This is ADC conversion. Now let me explain you what is pulse width modulation. Okay. So this is PWM. The thing with an a microcontroller like Arduino is that it can give the output voltage of only two values. It can give an output of either 0 volt or 5 volt. But here we told that we need an output equal to the reference voltage. What if the reference voltage is 4.5 volt or 3.2 volt or 2.5 volt? In that case, how do we give an output of 2.5 volt? Because the microcontroller can only give an output of 0 volt or 5 volt. So here comes the concept of pulse width modulation. See, between these two red lines, this is one cycle. All right, this is one cycle. So I tell the microcontroller that you stay high for a period of 0 to 64 bits. As I told you, the microcontroller in one cycle can count from 0 to 255 in 8-bit fast PWM mode. So I'm telling the microcontroller that when you count from 0 to 264, you keep the voltage as 5 volt. And when as soon as you reach the count of 64, you make the voltage as 0 volt. Okay. So in this particular cycle, what is the average voltage? Average voltage is 5 into 64 divided by 256. Why 256? Because the microcontroller also counts 0. The value 0, the microcontroller is counting that value. So basically it is counting the value 0 to 255, which is 256 values. So in one cycle the value is high for 64 bits and low for the other 128 bits. So 192 bits, I'm sorry, because of which this is the voltage, and this, as you can see, it will come to 1.25 volt. Okay, so this is PWM, pulse width modulation. And this is 25% duty cycle. So I've written this. Suppose the duty cycle is 50%, like for half period of the time period, if it's on and the rest of the half it's off, then it is going to be 5 by 2, which is 2.5 volt. Okay. Similarly, if we keep the microcontroller high for 192 bits and low for the other 64 bits, then the average voltage will be 5 into 192 by 256, which is equal to 3.75 volt. Okay. Sorry for the bad handwriting, but I hope you've got the point. And when we are keeping the microcontroller high for all the period, like for all the time it is high, then it's a normal DC output of 5 volt, and if it is low, it's a DC output of 0 volt. Am I clear? Is there any doubt till now? Because after this, the code is just the implementation of what I have told you till now. So if you have got any doubt, please tell. Okay, I'll proceed then. Okay. So the code here can be divided into three specific parts. All right. One is the main function, one is the ADC part, and the other is the PWM part. All right, pulse width modulation part. Okay. So the main function is the application of the block diagram. Whatever we are doing the block diagram, calculating the error, multiplying with Ki, integrating the Ki, like adding all the error values and then adding it with the Kp value and giving the output, that we are doing in the main function. Okay. For the ADC conversion part, we'll be using two things, which is the ADC initialize function and the interrupt service routine of the ADC. Okay. And for the PWM, we'll be using the pin configuration and timer initialize function and the interrupt service routine of the timer. Okay. So let me first explain the ADC, analog to digital conversion. So let us move to the ADC initialize function. Okay. So here we have the void ADC initialize function. Okay. At first we have addmux. Okay. Addmux 0x40. 0x, whenever the 0x comes, it means the number successing it, which is 40 here, is in hexadecimal. Okay. So 0x40, when from hexadecimal we convert it to binary, it is 0100 and then 4 zeros. Okay. Addmux channel, it does two things. The first, this 0, this selects the channel number. All right. As I told you, in this, we are taking the reference voltage from the A0 pin. We are taking the reference voltage from the A0 pin here. So I have said that the ADC conversion will be taking the voltage from the A0 pin. So I have set the addmux to 0. All right. This 4, it tells nothing. It says that what kind of reference that we are going to take. Here we have taken the reference from VCC, which is 5 volt. So that 4 is for that, nothing else, that what kind of reference voltage we are taking. Okay. Now ADC SRA. ADC SRA is a 8-bit register, which is the analog to digital conversion status register A. Okay. Now, as you can see, this register, it has got different, every bit has got a different name. ADPS 0, ADPS 1, ADPS 2. See, here, as you can see, I've set the ADPS 2, this bit, and this bit. These 3 bits, I've set them to 1, 1, and 1. See, 1, 1, and 1. These 3 bits basically decide the clock speed, like how fast or how slow the ADC conversion is going to happen. As the microcontroller Arduino is a very fast microcontroller, so I've increased the value. I've kept it at the slowest speed. The higher the value of ADPS 1, 2, and 0, the slower is the ADC conversion. Since it is a very fast microcontroller, I have set it to 111, which will divide the clock speed by 128, slowing down the process of ADC conversion. Coming to the SREG. SREG is nothing but this is the global interrupt enable. Since we are going to use an interrupt service routine, we first need to set the global interrupt as 1, because if this is not 1, then none of the interrupts will work. Okay, coming to the ADC SRA, ADIE. ADIE is this bit. Okay, this bit we are setting as 1. This is ADC conversion interrupt enable. Alright, so we are enabling the interrupt because will be using the interrupt service routine. And to enable this, we first need the SRAG bit to be set to 1, that we have already done. Add-in is ADC enable. So we are telling the microcontroller that like you can take the value, like we have set the ADMUX to 0x40 when we are doing the ADC enable. So the microcontroller knows that now it has to do the ADC conversion. And as soon as we set the ADSC, this is analog to digital start conversion bit. When this is set to 1, the conversion starts. All right. When this is set to 1, the conversion starts. Now let me come to the interrupt service routine of the ADC conversion, which is ISR ADC vect. This is the ISR ADC vect. Alright, this is ISR ADC vect. This is the interrupt service routine of the analog to digital conversion. Okay. So ADCW. Whenever we do the start conversion, as soon as we set the ADC start conversion bit, ADSC bit to 1, the conversion started, and ADCW is an internal variable of the microcontroller which stores the converted value. All right. So suppose we give a voltage of 2 volt, so it will become 409. So this ADCW, this variable stores the value of 409. We have defined a variable named P, and we are storing the value in P. Okay. Now coming to the if loop. If ADMUX equals to 0x40. If you remember, we had set the value of ADMUX as 0x40. So it will go inside the if loop. Once it goes inside the if loop, we have done x equals to P. Alright. So the value of from ADCW, which was the value in A0 pin, it is now stored in X. Okay, in the variable X. Similar, now inside the loop we are setting ADMUX equals to 0x41, so that next time when the interrupt service routine gets invoked, instead of getting in this loop, it gets inside the else loop. All right, it will get inside the else loop, and it will store the value of analog 0x1, which is the analog pin 1, which is the feedback value. Analog pin 1, feedback value. All right. So this feedback value, it will get stored in the variable of y. All right. Next time we have set ADMUX is 0x41. It will start converting. It will again store the value in ADCW. The value gets stored in P, and then we are storing it in y. All right. So remember this now, that X has the reference voltage, Y has the feedback voltage. All right. Now this was the part for ADC conversion. Now I'll come to the main function. In the main function, as we know that the ADC conversion happens in 10-bit, we need to scale it down. So we know that the variable X has the reference value. So we are just scaling it down. I've explained the mathematics before. Reference equals X into 255 divided by...
You show me that ADC part, that ADC interrupt part.
Yes, sir.
1 minute just. So here, if ADMUX is equal to this one, then it is doing this, else y is equal to... You have not used switch case, huh?
No, sir, I have not used switch case because in switch case there was some lag coming. But in C++ we are taught that if else works faster than switch case, so I have used if else.
Lag means it is how much?
Sir, a small lag in the output it was coming in if it was a bit faster. That is why.
Here first you are initializing. You go to the ADC initialization.
Yes, sir.
Here first you are initializing 40. That means channel 1, huh?
Channel 0. 40 I have to say.
At 0. So you come down again.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if that is first, if it's channel 0, it is going there and it is convert after doing the conversion. Acha, you have defined P as the ADC word. So once it is returning the value in X and converting the ADMAX value, this one, then it is going to be, oh, acha, acha. Okay, okay. Okay, fine.
We come to the main function. In the main function, okay, as I told that X has the value of the reference voltage and Y has the value of the feedback. Okay, in the interrupt service routine I have shown you. So the reference voltage, I'm just scaling it down, X into 255 by 1023, and the same function goes here, system feedback, Y into 255 by 1023. I'm just scaling down from 1023 to 255. Okay. So now I have come here, error equals reference minus system feedback, as simple as that. Integration term, which is the I term, is equals to I term plus Ki into error, as I told before, which is in the block diagram. We are just adding the error and multiplying it with Ki. If you see that the next time the error comes, the previous I term is already here, which is Ki into error, and the new error also gets multiplied with Ki, and then it just keeps on adding. Okay. After this, we have got the output. These are nothing. These are just the constraints, because the maximum output is 255 and the minimum output is 0. There is no point in keeping error as greater than 255 and lower than 0. Coming to output, output I have kept Kp into error plus I term, as we had explained before in the block diagram itself. It is Kp into error plus the integration term, which is Ki into sum of all errors. Okay, this is the output, which is Kp into I term, and the same constraint we have put here for both I term, and because the maximum output is 255 and minimum is 0, so we to avoid going out of that range, we have kept these constraints, and this is OCR1A out. Now this I'll explain when I explain the pulse width modulation. Okay, so coming to pulse width modulation. Pulse width modulation, first we go to the function of pin configuration. Okay. So here we have the pin configuration. Let me see. So here we have the pin configuration. This is DDRB. All right, DDRB. DDRB. This B at the end, it stands for the B registers of the Arduino. All right, Arduino has got A pins, B pins, and D pins. C pins, D pins, and B pins. So the B pins, they stand for the B pins. All right, the B pin stands from pin number 8 to pin number 13. Okay, the B pin stands for pin number 8 to pin number 13, and from the least significant bit, it stands for 8th pin, 9th pin, 10th pin, 11th pin, 12th pin, and 13th pin, and so on. So I've just set the 9th pin as output. 0 means input and 1 means output. So since I'll be giving the output from the 9th pin, I've just set the output pin 9 as 1. This bit stands for the 8th pin, this for the 9th, this for the 10th, this for the 11th, and so on. So I've just set the 9th pin as output. Coming to the void timer initialize function. In the timer initialize function, I have set the global interrupt as 1, because to invoke the interrupt service routine for the timer, we need the global interrupt as 1. Okay. This is timer counter 1 equals to 0. I told you that the microcontroller counts from 0 to 255, and it can count up to its frequency to a very high frequency, I think 1 megahertz or something in 1 second. So to access that timer, we are using this TCNT1 equals to 0. This is timer counter 1, which we will be using. So here, this is for that. Coming to TCC R1A and TCC R1B. Okay. So for any PWM output, the nature of the output, PWM can be in many ways. It can be phase correct, fast PWM. It can be set when compare match, or clear when compare match. It can be inverting mode, non-inverting mode. It can be in many modes. So the combination of these two registers, TCC R1A and TCC R1B, the combination of these two registers determine what kind of output we will be getting. Okay. So first of all, TCC R1A, these two bits, the least significant bits 0, 1, and here this 0, 1. All right. Like from TCC R1B, the fourth and the fifth bit, and from TCC R1A, the first and the second bit. The combination of these 4 bits, they tell us that what kind of PWM are we using. Is it phase correct or fast PWM? Alright. So if you see in TCC R1A register, these two stands for WGM11 and WGM10. And these two in TCC R1B, the third and the fourth, these two stand for WGM12 and WGM13. Okay. Now this is the table that we have from the data sheet. WGM10, WGM11, 12 and 13. According to our values, we have them as 0, 1 and 0, 1, which is the mode 5, which is 0, 1 and 0, 1. Okay. PWM, which is WGM13 and WGM12 and WGM11 and WGM10. 0, 1, 0, 1, which is the fast PWM 8-bit. Okay, you're using the fast PWM 8-bit. 0x00FS, this is nothing. 00FS stands for 256, which is 8-bit and nothing else. So we are using the microcontroller as 8-bit fast PWM. Okay. Coming to these 3 bits, last 3 bits, CS12, CS11 and CS10, these basically define the clock speed of the counting. Like how fast are we counting or how slow are we counting? The higher the value, the slower we count. The higher the value, the slower we count. Here I have kept the value as 1, 1, which is your 3 equivalent to 8. So I'm dividing the value of the clock speed of the microcontroller by 8 and thus slowing it down. Okay, these 3 bits are just slowing basically for slowing the counting. We have already made the ADC conversion slow, and for the better tuning, I have set this value as 0, 1, 1. Okay. This is timer counter mask register. This we need so that we can access the interrupt and nothing else, because we are masking the interrupt so that it is it is being given preference, not that just the ADC vector ADC interrupt keeps working, but also the timer interrupt keeps working. Okay. So we need to tell the microcontroller that when you count from 0 to 255, at what point do you have to set the microcontroller low or high. Okay. For this, we have this 1, 0, all right, of TCC R1A. TCC R1A, this COM1, this 7th bit and 6th bit. These 2 bit, we have set that initially from 0 till it reaches a value, the value will always be high. All right, the value will always be high. As soon as it reaches, suppose 64. If we want to keep a duty cycle of 25%, I have told that as soon as you reach a value of 64, you set the value to clear. All right, so it is in this mode. As soon as it reaches 64, it will lower the value to 0 volt. Until 255, it will stay 0. All right. When I set this bit to 1, 0, it works in this module. It is high initially, and as soon as it reaches the value of OCR1A, it becomes low till 255. Okay. So that OCR1A value, that I have given as the output. All right. OCR1A is equal to output. All right. Output is my KP turn plus I turn. KP into error plus I term, and I have given the OCR1A as output. So if the value of output is 200, then the microcontroller will stay high of 5 volt from 0 to 200, and from 200 to 255 it will stay low. Okay, suppose output is 100. Okay, and so the initially this is the count of 0, this is count of 100, and this is count of 255, say. Okay, so initially the microcontroller will be high, it will reach 100, it will go low, and it will stay low till 255. Okay, so the average value will be 5 into 100 by 255. Okay, so this is the code. I'll be printing the reference and the output, and then I'll plot it in a graph so that you can see that how it is changing and how it is comparing with the reference. Okay, does anyone have any doubt? If you have any doubt, please ask. Sir, এবার মানে demonstrationটা দেবো sir? Should I give the demonstration now?
হ্যাঁ দাও।
Okay, this is the same code that we used there, nothing different. The circuit is same. The circuit is same as I had shown here. Just I have got an Arduino with me. I'll be using it. So I'll just go to the. I'll upload the code to the Arduino. The tools, the serial plotter. Okay, so this is my serial plotter. See, the blue line here is the reference voltage. Okay, and the red line there is my output, which is the PI regulator that I'm using, and the output is coming there. Okay, the blue line is my reference voltage. I've stopped touching the blue line is my reference, and my red line is the output. So this was the demonstration.
Very good. What is this red fluctuation? How many count is going?
Sir, it is going 30 to 20 count, sir.
Okay.
40. The reference is around 40, and the values are ranging from 30 to 50.
Okay.
Okay. The code is same.
Anybody having any question?
Does anyone have any question?
Okay, so thank you so much, Anish. It was very nice. So now I'll give you one assignment. How many timers are there in the controller? I think total 4, na?
Sir, 0, 1, 2, sir, 0, 1, 2, I know. 3, I have to check in the data sheet. Timer counter 1, 0 is 8-bit, 2 is also 8-bit, 1 is 16-bit. Timer counter 3, I have to check if it is there or not.
Now check.
Yes, sir.
I think 3 not there.
Sir, in the data sheet, I can see TC0, TC1, and TC2.
Okay, it is not there. Okay, now the assignment what I am giving, you take timer 0 and you see you are using for, you are configuring the timer for fast PWM or
Yes,
phase
sir.
correct PWM or something like that. But there is a normal timer operation also there. So it will just count. That means what you can tell, you can configure the timer counting so fast at the highest frequency, and what it can happen, one overflow is coming. So one overflow, you know how much timing it is. So it can use as normal timer. Understand what I am telling?
Yes, sir. One overflow is the highest value it can count in one cycle.
That's what I'm telling. So if that is, say it is counting from 0 to 255, suppose.
Yes, sir.
So 0 to 255, you know the timing. Say it is 255. So say it is 0 to 255, it is counting in 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Because you can find it out that.
Yes,
So
sir.
now, anytime, once full overflow is coming, so it is 1 second. Then again next overflow is coming, it is 2 seconds.
Yes,
Two
sir.
overflow is gone, but present count is say 128. That means it is 2.5 seconds. That means what I
Acha.
am telling you, can configure rather than a PW, a timer to generate the PWM, it can use as a normal timer.
Okay.
So that you try, you just read the data sheet, that part.
Okay, sir. I'll read the data sheet.
There will be 3-4 things. So you can see this is timer mode, how to configure. So you first see that, any problem you tell me, and the next presentation will be on that.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Okay,
sir.
so I think everybody, if anything, any doubt is there, you can ask, or I am uploading this code and everything here in after in the my web page also, this video and the code also, so anybody can access that. So I will ask Anish to send the complete code to my Gmail ID, that vishwas.shritankshusekhar@gmail.com. So
Okay, sir.
herein the actual things we have started for our project. So I will every video as well as this video explanation as well as this code, I will be permanently uploading in the my web page. So anytime you can access that also. There I will keep one query page also. So anybody need, he can post anything, queries. So that will be forwarded to Anish also. You can reply. So anybody want to tell anything? So I. Okay, so hope everybody understood. So next task is that only. Anish, তুমি ওই এটা কোডটা আমাকে মেল করে দাও, হ্যাঁ এক্ষুনি।
আচ্ছা করছি স্যার।
So thank you so much. Thank you everybody to uh, be a part of this today's session. Okay, thank you so much. So take care. Bye. Good night.
Good night, sir.